to my YouTube channel, Chigon's Dream Ogubike TV. Today we'll be looking at a topic that has been trending for a while. Polygamy palaver. Okay, let's hop into the discussion. On 27th of April 2022, a Nollywood actor, Yul Edochie, introduced his second wife to the public, and since then he has been dragged like a past level generator. The question is, did he go into polygamy the right way? In his caption, he wrote, "It is time for the world to meet my son. His name is Tadike Munachimso Yul Edochie, by my second wife at Judy Austin 1, and I love him so much as I love my other children." And his wife commented, "May God judge you both." Since then, this saga has been on since 2022 up till this moment. Alright, in this video, we're not going to go into emotional, it's going to be very insightful, it's going to be very educational. We'll be looking at polygamy, the reasons for polygamy, some basic facts about polygamy, and criteria about polygamy. After this video, we're going to learn something new. So the first question is, what is polygamy? Polygamy is a broad name. Polygamy is a situation where a man marries more than one wife, multiple wives, and a woman also marries more than one husband. So polygamy can either be polygyny or polyandry. What is polygyny? Polygyny is a situation where a man marries multiple wives, which is very, very common and popular in the African setting. Also, we have the polyandry, a situation where a woman marries more than one husband. Yes, are you surprised? Yes. In some parts of the African countries, in other words, there's a situation where a woman is permitted to marry as many husbands as she deems fit. We'll be looking at some basic facts about polygamy. Polygamy is part of the social lives of the Africans, especially the Igbo culture. Polygamy was widely accepted and practiced in Nigeria among the Igbos and other ethnic groups. It was legally accepted by both the native law and the government. Monogamy in those days was associated with disdain, persecution, shame, tribulation. In a home where a woman does not have co-wives, she feels down, she feels angry, she feels left alone, she feels disdain, she feels persecuted. So polygamy was the main thing in those days. Monogamy in those days was perceived as a deliberate attempt to frustrate the creation of women. Every woman deserved to marry and be in a home. So monogamous family was kicked against not only by the men, also by the women. So we're looking at what were the reasons of polygamy. Number one is for affluent and sound investments. Affluent. If you want to show that you have money, you are no dogu, you're a proud polygamist, you have to marry more than one wife. It's a show of affluence that you have the money. It's a show of a sound investment. So those days, if men want to actually invest, they go into multiple wives. They can have as many wives as possible that have children, so they feel it's an investment for them. Number two is for agricultural purposes and for economic purposes. You know, in those days, the majority of the occupation was mechanized farming. So men had so many large hectares of land and they need laborers in the field. Because of that, you see the men married multiple wives. And those multiple wives have so many children. They give birth to so many children that can actually assist them in the farm work. Number three reason is for procreation. Some people actually like large family size. They don't just want one or two children. They want everywhere. Children are everywhere in the compound. They're playing and all that. That was the reason why some people ventured into polygamy. Number five is maybe when there's a delay in childbirth, or there is no male child. In most times, in those days, when there is a delay in childbirth, you see the man, they'll pick another wife because of that delay in childbirth. Some other times, you know, a woman will give birth to female children and all that. And the man wants a heir. Especially in the Nigerian culture, in the Igbo culture, the man wants a heir. They want their lineage to continue. And because of that, they seek to have another wife. Number five reason for polygamy was for the recuperation of a woman after childbirth. In those times, when a woman gives birth, she's allowed to stay for 3 years before she can conceive and have another child. But it doesn't favor the men. The men must be active in the other role. So what did they do? They seek another wife That is why some of them went into polygamy. Number 6 reason was for the relief of women from loneliness and domestic burden. In those times, there was a whole lot of domestic work to be done. So for women to feel free and be relieved from domestic burden, polygamy was introduced. Women had junior wives, at least to keep the house bubbling and also relieve her from domestic burden and other agricultural practices. Number 7 reason is for prestigious reasons to show affluence. In those days, for you to show that you're rich, you are the real Odogu, for you to get a title, the chief, the Eze, you have to show workings. And how do you show workings? Is the number of wives you have. You say, oh, so and so have 10 wives, I have 20 wives. Like, yes, you are the real deal. For you to share affluence and for you to receive some chieftaincy titles, you must have multiple wives. So they know that yes, you are the real deal. You have arrived. You are the doings. You are the real Odogu. These were some of the reasons why men went into polygamy. Sometimes the chiefs can have 3 to 5 wives, while the kings and the chiefs, the big men, can actually have up to 20 to 200 wives. Number 8 reason was to protection of women from shame and dishonor. Polygamy was seen as a very big achievement. It was a very, 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 very big achievement. So if a woman does not have a husband, she feels she's not fulfilled, she feels there's something missing in her life. So for a woman to actually feel fulfilled, to prevent shame, to prevent dishonor, polygamy was the root out of this mess. So that was it. And women welcomed polygamy with all their heart. So the final round, we'll be looking at the criteria for polygamy. Before you go into polygamy, there must be things you must fulfill. You can't just wake up in the morning and rush into polygamy. No, you must fulfill some criteria. And that is where we are going to. Number 1 criteria is that you must be affluent. Like this popular musician that sang how much is money? It's nothing. Balling. Premium about that. Money is good. Money is good. Blessings and blessings. For you to be or find yourself in a polygamous family structure, you must be financially buoyant. You must have money. Ego, oku, that. If you are not financially buoyant, please, you are not qualified to smell or attempt or dream about polygamy. Number 2, you must have enough residential structures. In those historical times, the man will have their own huts, his obi, then several wives will have their different huts. Different wives had different huts where they live with their children. So for you to go into polygamy, you must have enough residential structures. So you can't come and put 2 women in one structure. No, you must have different structures for different women, whether they're in the same state or in different states, whether they're in the same town or in different town, but they have different residential structures. Number 3, you must have a good source of livelihood to maintain your family. You can't go into polygamy when you don't have a solid source of livelihood. How will you sustain them? Polygamy comes with economic burden. You have to cater for the wife's needs. You have to cater for the children's need. So polygamy is not a child's play. Before you can venture into polygamy, you must have enough money. Go. So if you don't have a sound source of livelihood, you are not qualified to smell polygamy. Number 4, you must get consent from your wife. In those days, the senior wife will follow the husband. We even encourage the husband to get more wife. You get consent from the senior wife. The senior wife will accompany the husband to go and get the new wife. So there was love, there was peace, there was unity. So it was something that was agreed by both parties. It's not what the man will wake up one morning and get a new wife and announce it on social media. No, things doesn't happen that way. Number 5, you must have the physical prowess to satisfy the women in the other room. If you must venture into polygamy, you must be an Odogu in the other room. Because you can't have 2 wives, 3 wives, and they're sexually starved. No. You don't have that strength. Bow for run away from polygamy. And the final point is that you must treat the wife and the children equally. For you to go into polygamy, there should not be any segregation. You shouldn't have favoritism. You must treat all the wives and their children equally. Alright, did you learn something new? I know this was a very entertaining and insightful teaching. However, polygamy also has its advantages and disadvantages. Maybe in my next videos, I'll make some videos about the advantages and disadvantages of polygamy. If you know you enjoyed this video, please kindly click the like button. You know the bite. Kindly click like, share, and comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next time on my next video.